Here, a rare treasure, a patch of fungi rich in nutrients, a prize worth fighting for. In this barren territory, it is the last bastion of life, and it has not gone unnoticed. Hunger is a powerful motivator, and the apex predator of this age is starving. A veteran Tyrannosaurus, 12 meters of muscle and bone, honed by a lifetime of brutal conflict. Its senses, honed for the hunt, lock onto the prize. But the prize is already claimed. Ankylosaurus, a living citadel, relying not on speed, but on an impenetrable defense.
It will not be moved easily. This territory, and the food within it, is its own.
A confrontation is inevitable, but a costly battle is a last resort, even for an apex predator. First, a challenge. A roar designed to shatter the nerve of a lesser opponent.
A sound that has struck terror into countless creatures for millions of years.
But the defender is unimpressed. Its own answer is one of silent, stubborn defiance.
It possesses one of the most formidable weapons ever evolved, a tail club of solid bone. A clear demonstration of the bone-shattering force it can deliver. The challenge has been answered. The ritual is over. Now, the deadly dance begins. A test of strength and of strategy.
The Tyrannosaur's first move is a probe, a question asked with 12 tons of muscle.
But the defender's response is immediate and precise. An impenetrable wall of bone and keratin. Every attack is met with a deadly counter. A single, well-aimed blow could shatter a leg.
The predator is forced to be nimble. A lesson in the defender's lethal reach is quickly learned.
The Tyrannosaur changes tactics, testing for weaknesses in its opponent's awareness, not just its armor.
But the defender's senses are sharp. It hears what it cannot always see in the shifting fog.
A direct assault is useless. The armor on its head is nearly half a meter thick.
Every failed attack costs precious energy, and sometimes, blood. The defender is proving costly.
The battle pauses. A moment for the combatants to assess the cost and the strategy of survival.
The evidence of the defender's power is a silent warning, carved into the ancient wood.
For the Tyrannosaur, this is no longer a simple fight. It is a problem that requires a solution.
Its opponent presents a seemingly perfect defense. An armored puzzle with no apparent solution.
But in this geothermal world, the arena itself is never static. The ground itself breathes. For the defender, vision is a key component of its strategy. A strategy now compromised. The thick, sulfurous fog irritates its eyes and masks the scent of its attacker. It is half-blind. Its perfect, rotating defense relied on knowing where the threat was. Now, the threat is everywhere and nowhere, and the predator, a master of observation, sees it. Not a weakness in the armor, but in the senses. A new plan is forged in an instant. A plan that uses the environment itself as a weapon.
The Tyrannosaur disappears. It will no longer fight the fortress head-on. It will become a ghost.
The defender is left alone in a white world, surrounded by an unseen enemy. A war of nerves begins. Using the fog as cover, it begins to circle. A silent, patient maneuver to bypass the armor. Sound is now a torment. A rustle, a whisper. Each could be the prelude to a death blow.
The hunter's strategy has paid off. It has bypassed the fortress walls and found the undefended gate.
The decisive blow. Not a wild attack, but a precise, calculated strike born from observation, targeting the only vulnerability, the powerful, unarmored muscles of the leg.
Fight is over. The fortress has been breached, and its defender crippled.
A hunter's intelligence, combined with overwhelming power, seals the victory. In this world, no victory comes without a price. Survival is a transaction, paid for in blood. The territory is won. The victor claims his prize, his roar echoing through the silent mist. For the loser, there is only retreat, a painful journey into an uncertain future, if there is one at all. The spoils of war. For the victor, a meal that means survival for another day. For the loser, survival is now measured in inches. Each movement is an agony, a battle against its own broken body.
The home it fought for is lost forever. A final, painful memory of its failure.
It vanishes into the mist, its fate uncertain. In this world, a grievous wound is often a death sentence. The victor claims his spoils. For the first time in weeks, the gnawing hunger will be silenced. This rare food source is rich in proteins and minerals, vital for a predator of this size.
Life, severed from its source, quickly fades. A law that governs all things in this age.
Caution is a deeply ingrained instinct. For a moment of carelessness can undo any victory.
The conflict is over. The arena falls silent, its sole occupant the wounded but triumphant king. A trail of defeat, leading from the battlefield into the unknown.
But the victor did not escape unscathed. The defender's final blow was a costly one.
It is an injury it cannot see, cannot reach, and cannot properly tend to. A dangerous vulnerability.
And where there is blood, others are quickly drawn. Not predators, but something far more insidious. Instinct drives it to seek relief, to use the tools of the forest to soothe the pain. A moment's relief from the torment. But it is a dangerous solution. The gateway for infection is now wide open. A race has begun between the creature's immune system and decay. Pain is a harsh teacher. It has learned a lesson. Some remedies are worse than the disease. An act as simple as lying down becomes a monumental effort, each movement aggravating the angry wound. Finally, stillness. But for a wounded giant, stillness is an invitation to other dangers. The victor must now endure a silent, internal battle against the microscopic invaders in its own blood.
Time passes. The forest is indifferent to the life or death struggle playing out on its floor. The fate of the vanquished is often a slow one. a lonely vigil at the edge of life.
And the forest's opportunists are patient. They know that all things, eventually, return to the earth. A final protest against the inevitable. Life of resilience, ending in a slow, silent defeat. Death is not an end. It is a transfer of energy. A necessary sacrifice that allows others to live.
Its immense constitution has won the war against infection. The fever has broken. Though weakened, it is a survivor. Forged in the crucible of endless conflict.
Every sunrise is a victory. Every step, a defiance of the death that stalks this land. Now, it must rebuild its strength. For in this world, the next challenge is never far away. It is a world of constant struggle, of brutal competition and unforgiving laws. A world where life and death are locked in an eternal, violent, and beautiful dance. This is the law of nature, the unforgiving and yet perfect engine of.
It is a world of water and silence, an ecosystem breathing.
On the forest floor, a different world exists, governed by shadow and the slow, relentless cycle of decay.
Every scar tells a story of survival, but its lean frame tells another, the story of a long, desperate hunt. Its armor is more than a defense. It is a landscape, a testament to a life spent weathering every storm.
It is a sound weapon, evolved to end a conflict before a single drop of blood is shed.
The challenge echoes through the territory, a clear signal to all lesser creatures to flee. The defender's response is simple. It will not be moved. It becomes a part of the earth itself.
The predator continues its assessment, forcing the defender to constantly adjust, probing for the slightest delay. Survival at this level requires more than size. It requires speed, power, and surprising agility. But the Tyrannosaur has other tools. An exceptional sense of smell, now its primary weapon.
The smallest mistake can betray the predator's position. A blind, desperate strike. A fortress firing its cannons into the concealing fog. But the hunter has already anticipated the move, using the sound itself as a final, brilliant feint.
Now, the trap is sprung. The decisive moment, orchestrated with patience and lethal intelligence.
The attack comes from the one direction it could no longer defend, a fatal blind spot. The crippling injury makes further resistance impossible. The fortress has fallen.
A final assertion of dominance. The hunter pins its prey, ending any chance of a last-second retaliation.
The blood of the victor and the vanquished mix on the forest floor, a testament to the price of life. The battle is done. A brutal, tactical masterpiece has secured a hard-won and costly victory. The predator is thinking, using the environment to create distractions, to find a flaw in the defense.
In the predator's mind, the equation of the battle changes. Strength has failed. Cunning is the new path to victory.
A careful test confirms the weakness. The defender is now effectively blind, lost in a sea of white.
The hunter becomes a phantom, an unseen death circling in the disorienting gloom.
The trap is set. The hunter waits for the perfect moment, the final, fatal beat of the dance.
An island of soft flesh in an ocean of armor.
The single, critical flaw in the fortress. The battle is won, but first, the territory must be claimed. A silent declaration to the forest. This ground is now his. The tools of the hunt are stained with the price of a meal. A grim reminder of the day's work.
Night falls on the victor's new domain. A temporary peace in a life of endless war.
For the scavengers, the feast is also a competition. The law of nature governs all levels of the food chain.
The dawn brings clarity and a renewal of strength. The battle within has been won.
The weapons of the apex predator are ready. The hunger and the hunt will soon return. It leaves behind the evidence of its struggle, a temporary scar on the landscape that will soon be reclaimed by the forest. Water, the source of all life, soothes the victor and prepares him for the next chapter. Its body is healing. Its strength is returning. The king is once again ready to rule his kingdom. The cycle continues. The hunt is eternal. For a predator, to live is to fight, and to fight is to live. The arena is empty. The forest has already begun the process of erasing the scars, absorbing the story. Up here, in the sunlit canopy, the brutal dramas of the forest floor seem a world away.